you've made a video about Jordan Owen,
Yeah.
who has made a series, quite a prominent series in the in this, I don't know how to say it, but in the autistic community and on YouTube. It's a quite
Yeah.
a prominent series, right? Where he's talking about
Yeah.
why autistic. I don't know if he's saying men or people should
He
stay
says
single.
man. He says
He says
man.
men, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, and you are quite against that, right? You seem to disagree. You seem to
I-
think that it's
I'm not
still
like
worth it.
I'm not like screaming, like raging kind of like against it sort of thing, but I just draw contention, like for several reasons. One of them is just the fact that, like he is like I mentioned, like quite a large percentage of autistic men are like totally celibate basically. And, they like Jordan Owen is like me, he's fortunate enough to be in a position where he has had like relationship experiences and stuff, right? And it seems like he's pushing this idea that like it's okay to like, and for some people, if they're asexual or whatever, it's a personal choice. Like, it's okay for them to not have relationships, sure. But, to say that it's like almost like to sour grapes it, you've heard of the sour grapes kind of idea?
No, can
You know?
you?
Okay. So like sour grapes, I guess it's a metaphor, but it's like, if there's a if there's a guy at a bar, right, and like he tries to talk to some girl and the girl rejects him and stuff, and he's like, fuck it, she wasn't worth it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
girls are shit. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't need girls kind of thing. Like that's basically what it means, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I know from personal experience that relationships can be really fulfilling and enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's biologically hardwired in men to to most, of course with exceptions, and that's fine if you are an exception, but to enjoy things like intimacy and female company sometimes at least, right? um and I think for him to kind of tell other, because like he was speaking to some guy who'd never had a relationship, and he was just like
Younger
telling
guy.
him basically, yeah,
Yeah.
he was basically just telling him that it's not like, he just shouldn't bother. Basically, he should stay single. And I guess I kind of, yeah, I felt a bit of contention with that
Mm-hmm. But
because
I feel
even though,
like
yeah, like it's difficult, it's very difficult for autistic men, but it's still, it's still an important part of life. It's still an enjoyable part of life.
hmm. And you also kind of criticize it, I think, from the point of view of where you were saying basically, even if someone will have a bad experience
Yeah.
by not listening to your advice,
Mm.
and is not going to have a good experience, even
Yeah.
then it makes no sense to tell him not to do it because uh, he's not going to listen to your advice. He's just gonna he or I don't know what I think. I feel like you're you're throwing away utilitarianism in that moment, for where you were saying it doesn't really matter if
Mm.
it's going to be pleasant or not. Uh, it would still be bad for them not to try it, right?
No, I didn't say if it wouldn't be pleasant,
Mm-hmm.
because and I guess maybe this is just reflective of my level of like, my mental age and my maturity. But I think like even like a bad relationship can still have good experiences in it.
Mm-hmm. I
It can
agree.
still have rich experiences in it. And I mean, I remember how I felt before I like ever had like a serious relationship. And it was like I just didn't know what I was missing out on, and I was not in a position where, I didn't feel like I could take someone's word for it. Oh, this is how it is, this is how it would be for you, so don't bother kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like that wasn't satisfying to me,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. It's like, you know, um, yeah, I just drew a lot of contention with that, really. Yeah.
don't you think that I feel like I've had this conversation with one of my first guests with Dark Cell. I mean, you're I know that you're not an incel, but you're struggling as well. And he's an incel. He's struggling because of that, but you're not struggling for the same reasons. But still, the common ground there basically is struggle that you're going through right now, and this idea of basically rotting away, right? So this feeling of powerlessness, of changing your own situation, this hopelessness also that is there, that is obviously very problematic, not only on a personal level. Don't you think that even if you, I said the same thing to Dark Cell, a lot of your suffering is coming from society. I feel like we can agree about that. I think we haven't reached a complete agreement about if it would be completely gone, if society would not be that way, but we're still in agreement about a big part of it coming from society. So
yeah, I mean, I'm hesitant to blame all my problems on other people.
Yeah, but we could basically model society in a way that would be way more accommodating to you and would probably solve a big portion of your issues and increase your quality of life in a significant way, right? And I feel like it's the same. It's similar for someone like Dark Cell, or for many people also in the incel sphere. For generally people suffering in society, I feel like that's the case. Even if it's not about fault or blame or anything like that, but sorry, are you still there? Okay. He left for a second. He's coming back right away. Nice to see you guys all here. Topi, WeLink, Icon of Sin.
Hi. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I did say I do have mild, just like bladder incontinence.
No
anyway,
problem. No problem at all.
Yeah, no, I kind of heard most of what you were saying.
Yeah.
About...
So maybe one I just try to think about what I mean. It obviously is really difficult to put myself in your shoes, but I feel like one thing that would give me satisfaction, because I'm a person that has a big ego, right? I would take satisfaction from having a contribution to changing society for future generations, and to be kind of one of the pioneers in that area, in that field. And you're doing it. You're already doing that to a certain extent by having your YouTube channel. Is that something that you think about? Is that something that might be a perspective for the future?
Yeah, sure. Like, in order to kind of just try and improve society generally. You mean?
Yeah, I mean, isn't that kind of taking away the aspect of rotting, and like I think that was the words you use, right?
Lay down and rot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that
sure? Yeah, I guess I just feel quite cynical about society, and it's kind of hard to get people to listen and stuff, and so maybe it's just better to do my own thing. But yeah, like I do kind of, I do, envisage that things could be better if a few things, if just like society adopted different attitudes towards like things like autism. Yeah, sure. It could be that, and yeah, I guess that's kind of what I try and do in my own way a little bit, to kind of raise awareness, and I don't do it from this politically correct kind of like I identify as autistic kind of, oh, like I've got 23 genders kind of way. I do it from the perspective of a white male autistic guy, and my struggles, and that's going to be, and that does seem to be relatable to quite a lot of people, and yeah, and I think I have helped people, Like I've made friends throughout the channel and stuff, and a lot of people say they like the work I'm doing, and yeah, I've had an overwhelmingly positive response. So yeah, I think that's something that I'll keep doing. Doesn't seem to really be hurting anyone, you know.
No, I really like your content
Stuff,
as well.
challenging narratives and stuff. Yeah.